What's going on, guys? Tom Newsham back with another protein review. We have just got done reviewing the C4 Whey Protein, and honestly, the taste test shocked me. So welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, my name's Tom Newsham. I'm a PT with over 10 years of experience, and I have reviewed dozens of protein supplements on this channel. And as mentioned, today we are checking out the C4 Protein, specifically the Reese's peanut butter and chocolate flavour. And we are predominantly going to do 4 tests. We are going to do the ingredient test, we're going to do the mixability test, we're going to do the taste test, and then finally we're going to bring it all together in the price and see if it is worth your hard-earned money. So without further delay, let's get into the review. So the first test we're going to look at is the ingredients test. So this is predominantly whey protein. This is a whey protein sort of blend, but it does have a little bit of whey protein isolate in there. Now the second ingredient on this is peanut flour. So do not have this if you have some sort of a nut allergy or something like that. But overall, looking at the ingredients, it looks pretty good. Now because this is a whey protein, this is predominantly a fast acting protein. So what you want to do is you want to be taking this sort of either after the gym or really just on like a morning after you've woken up or something. This is not really like a casein protein which you would take before bedtime. I do find it funny, if you can read there, what they've put there is they've put the best time for use is post-workout, before bed, and any time. But really, as with all protein powders, really just don't overthink it. Really, it gives you a certain amount of protein and you can just add that into your macros for the day. It's quick, it's cheap, it's convenient, and that is predominantly what protein powder is meant to be. Now what we'll do is we'll just sidestep from the ingredients to the macronutrients on this. Now I'll put all the macronutrients here so you can all see them, but I'm just reading off the back of the tub here. Now the serving size is 2 scoops. Now the calories are slightly on the higher end with 142. It's not massively high, but it is maybe like 20 or 30 calories higher than you would maybe expect from a whey protein, and we're going to get into that obviously as we get down the macronutrients. So the fats is 2.4 grams. We have carbohydrates, which is 3.2 grams. I'm quite surprised to see there's like 1.9 grams of sugar, because as we get into the taste test, we'll be talking a little bit more about that. And finally, the protein is 25 grams. So that is actually pretty much what you would expect from a whey protein blend. Now you don't want to be going too low, you don't want to be going sort of like 18 or lower than that in terms of protein, but equally if you're having a protein shake which is closer to like the 40 or 50 grams, you're going to be finding that you're going to be spending a lot of money for that just because the protein content is so high. One thing I normally don't mention too much in the protein reviews is the amount of salt in them. But this actually has half a gram of salt, so it's not the end of the world, but I do think it's worth mentioning because it is slightly higher for a protein shake. But again, as we get into the taste test, you'll kind of see why that is. So the next test we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the mixability test. How good does this mix? Does it leave lumps in the protein? Are you going to be chewing on those lumps? Or does it mix really, really well? And what else does it mix well into? Now, if you've seen the channel before, you'll know that I love having my protein on a morning, either in like overnight oats or just mixed into my porridge on a morning. And you'll be surprised that certain proteins even mix differently between overnight oats and just hot porridge on a morning. Now let's change camera angles for a moment. Let's see what this mix is like. We're going to be putting the bowl in and we're just going to mix this with water, so nothing fancy on our end. So you're on handheld mode, so apologies if I'm making anyone queasy with this. Now, I just want to show you inside here right now. So it does say the serving size is 2 scoops. There is definitely a scoop in there because I did check it. We're going to be having a look at the mixability now. Now the serving size is 2 scoops, and as you can see here, the scoop is extremely tiny. So what we want to be doing is we want to be going for 2 level scoops. We have our shaker cup here with about 300 mils of water. Alright, so just before we start shaking this, one thing you can obviously smell is it is an extremely strong flavour. So you can definitely smell the peanut butter in there predominantly. You can't necessarily smell any chocolate, but you can just smell the peanut butter. Now if you ever had a Reese's peanut butter cup, it does definitely just smell like kind of the inside of one of those. You know, if you ever bite into it, the peanut butter is it's almost like a little bit powdery. And if you ever had that product, can't remember exactly what it's called, but I think it's like PB1, where it's like a powdered peanut butter and you just add the water to it. in my mind, that is exactly what the Reese's peanut butter cup actually tastes like. So really, in terms of smell, they have absolutely nailed the smell of a Reese's peanut butter cup of C4, so well done to them. Let's get to shaking. Whoa! That's how it's mixed. So, mixability so far appears to be quite good. Now we'll go further into that on the next section, which is the taste test. So, bottoms up, let's see how this actually tastes. I'm not joking when I say this. This is probably one of the best tasting proteins, if not the best tasting protein I've ever had in my life. Now, as you imagine, I've probably had quite a lot of protein powders over the course of the last 10 to 15 years. So this is a genuine reaction. I'm not sponsored by C4, I'm not being paid to do this, full disclosure, but this is literally one of the best tasting protein powders in my life. This tastes like I've got this mixed with milk or something like that, which if you don't know, that is a great way of making your protein shakes taste a lot better. Now there's definitely no clumps in there, it's mixed very, very well. Again, 2 scoops with 300 mils of water is all that I needed. But yeah, genuinely, this is absolutely fantastic. So if you like the Reese's peanut butter cups, or even if you just like peanut butter, this is predominantly what you're going to taste. There is a bit of chocolate in there, obviously, but mainly peanut butter, which, as we alluded to earlier, that is mainly where the salt comes from in the ingredients list. So do bear that in mind, there is ½ gram of salt in this. However, if you're drinking enough water, that's not really going to be an issue for you at all. I can't stop sipping it. This is really, really nice. So this is a very, very, very pleasant way to get your 25 grams of protein in. I'm actually blown away by this. This is really good. Now, I haven't tried any of the other flavours. I think there's only 2 other flavours that the C4 protein comes in, but I'll definitely be trying those. Which brings us, in a roundabout way, to price. So, I bought this from Costco for £35. Now this has 46 servings in it. Now you can put your calculator away. I've worked that out to be about 76 pence per serving. So for 25 grams of protein, that is an absolute bargain. Now I've seen this retailed on different places like Amazon, eBay and all those other sort of online marketplaces for a bit more than £35. So really the price I got for Costco may not be the norm, but it definitely was a good bargain for that. So final verdict on the C4 Reese's peanut butter flavour. Personally, I love it. Now if you're not a big fan of peanut butter, you are 100% not going to like this because it does pretty much taste just like peanut butter. And I can imagine if you're having multiple of these a day, you are probably going to get a little bit sick of the flavour because it is just such a faithful flavour to what it says. However, for me, mixing it into my porridge, mixing it into a shake like that, I actually find this a very, very pleasant way to get my 25 grams of protein in, and I'm only really having 1 protein shake per day at the minute. So realistically, I would very much recommend this whey protein. I think it's a great price, the mixability is great, so I heartily recommend this. And again, the ingredients list, to me, there's no red flags which have jumped out there. As I say, if you're watching your salt intake, you may just want to leave this one, but again, I think that's purely down to the peanut butter flavouring that they've added. But overall, I think this is actually my new favourite protein, and I'm very excited to try the chocolate and the white chocolate flavour. So stay tuned to this channel for another review on that in the coming future. Make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. Now, that brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this protein review and want to see a protein review on perhaps the best plant-based protein, please click there, or perhaps it's there. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching the video. As always, ring that notification bell after you subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment on what I should review next. And in the meantime, guys, I'll see you in the next video. See you!